advised.
Welcome to Open for Business. Mapapanood nyo rin ang programang OFB sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media at Net25 TV. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Samahan ninyo kaming tuklasin ang iba't ibang pamamaraan kung paano mapaunlad ang inyong negosyo. Aalamin din natin mula sa mga eksperto ang mga pangunahing trends at mga estratehiya kung paano natin mapapanatili ang negosyo, maliit man o malaki, ay maging laging open for business. Isa ang mga kooperatiba sa mga naapektuhan ng COVID-19 crisis. Sa isang survey ng Cooperative Development Authority, nangangamba ang mga kooperatiba sa pagbaba ng kanilang kita dahil sa mahirap na transportasyon at komunikasyon. And one of the most important questions is, how can they transition to digitalization? In this episode, we will discuss the journey of one cooperative that remained resilient during the pandemic. Ms. Revisa, General Manager of the Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative, and Mr. Bradley Pineda of Globe Business will share their insights.
Makabuluhang talakayan.
Sapat na po ba yun? Papasok yung 30% sa indoor at 50% sa outdoor para to even break even?
Ilang pong mga negosyo ang nagsara po dahil dito po sa pandemya.
Malalim na komentaryo.
Ngayon, sinasabi essential goods and services. Pero nakita naman po natin sa Dolomite Beach. At may time clock yung mga bata doon.
Umaapaw sa impormasyon.
Ano ba ngayon ang allotted budget per voter?
Yung hindi daw bakunado po ng mga empleyado, hindi sila pinapasweldo. Oras!
Pero hindi rin nagpapahuli sa kakulitan.
Merong nag-file for the presidency. Hinimok daw siya ng mga alien at ang kanyang plataforma po ay palakasin ang Wi-Fi.
At ito si Ali magde-demonstrate paano mag-swimming na may face mask.
Kaya, nood na kina Ali Soto at Pati Daza sa ASPN. Ano sa palagay nyo?
Kung kayo po ay may pinagdadaanan, daanan nila. Huwag niyong tambayan.
Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga.
Oras, alas 9:26 na po ng umaga at nagbabalik po ang ASPN.
Mapapanood sa Net25 at mapapakinggan sa DZEC, Radyo Aguila at Eagle FM 95.5.
Welcome back to Open for Business. Today we have Ms. Revisa, General Manager of the Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative, and Mr. Bradley Pineda, Marketing Manager for Finance Industry of Globe Business MSME Group. How are you, Bradley and Ms. Faye?
Doing good, Cesar. Thank you very much for having us on the show.
Doing good, and thank you for having us to the show.
We are doing this interview and I learned that you are from Davao, and it's very exciting because our topic is about cooperatives this time. How is Davao? Bago natin pag-usapan ng ating mga kooperatiba, kumusta ang Davao, Ms. Faye?
Well, Davao ngayon po is medyo nasa alert 3 and meron din somehow may restrictions because we are GCQ. But so far, medyo we're fine and we're doing well amidst the pandemic po.
Wow. Sa nangyaring pandemic, Bradley and Ms. Faye, small businesses are really affected. And as I was telling you earlier, there is a huge impact also to cooperatives. And I am excited because I think this is the very first episode where we will be focusing on the role of cooperatives. But in a nutshell, Bradley, I think this is my first question to you. Pag sinabi nating kooperatiba, Ano ba ang kahalagahan nito sa ating ekonomiya at paano ito nakakatulong sa mga maliliit na negosyante?
Mm-mm. Yeah, thank you for that question, Cesar. Actually, first and foremost, I'd like to greet Ms. Faye and to all of the cooperatives watching a happy National Cooperative Month. It's celebrated every October of the year. And we're celebrating Cooperative Month together with the sector because we recognize that cooperatives are a key pillar in the economic development, especially in the countryside. There is a lot of the Filipino population that are still unbanked with no access to financial services. And cooperatives in particular is one of those institutions that can give financial services to those unbanked population, giving them access to loans, business loans, so that they can also create businesses of their own. And ang goal naman po talaga ng mga kooperatiba, Cesar, is to uplift the lives of their members and their community. So kami naman as Globe Business, we want to be the preferred partner of solutions provider for small businesses. And so we recognize the fact that we want to enable the enablers as well for the MSMEs. So meron pong isang study of all the 18,500 active cooperatives, and that's according to data from the CDA or the Cooperative Development Authority. There was a study published by the US Overseas Cooperative Development Council. Nag-interview sila ng mga cooperative members and they found out that a lot of the members of cooperatives are enjoying a higher economic financial status. And a lot of them attribute it to being a member of the cooperative. So, ang malaki talaga ng tulong ng kooperatiba, especially to their members and to their community. So, kami naman po at Globe Business, because of the noble purpose of cooperatives and our vision, to become an enabler or to small and medium businesses, we really wanted to align with the subsector so that we can reach a lot more businesses in the whole country.
Bradley, you opened up very interesting insights about cooperatives. I think one of the topics that you opened up is the Filipinos, a lot of Filipinos being unbanked, but which highlights the need and the benefit if you are a member of the cooperative. So I'll go to Miss Faye now. Ano po ba ang maraming mga businesses na hindi man kailangan na maging miyembro ng kooperatiba, pero sa palagay mo, Miss Faye, what is it that's in the structure or in the vision and mission of these cooperatives that makes it very beneficial for small businesses to join cooperatives such as the Pantukan Chess Club?
Okay. Thank you, Cesar. Like us in our cooperative, yung vision talaga of our serving the grassroots of the non-bankable individual, especially here in the southern Mindanao. And yun talaga yung hindi maaabot ng mga bangko and other financial services. So lahat po ng in which that the goal of our PCCMPC or the Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative is to uplift the lives of our members and to reach the local communities from the grassroots that do not have the access to the banks and other financial services.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Ms. Faye, for that clarification. Bradley, you mentioned ang daming cooperatives that's around. I think the data is that's 18,500, and based on the document that I have, there's about 11.6 million members who depend on for their financial support, especially during these critical times. Ngayon, Bradley, how is it especially during the pandemic where there's few access or although nag-open na ngayon ano, kumbaga parang tayo nakakapunta na tayo sa bangko, nakakapag-open na ng account ang karamihan sa atin, nakakapunta na entirely, but a lot of people maybe just like me and the other businesses, they don't go back to the old ways of banking na. So nasanay ka na sa online, mag-online ka na. So my question now is how is Globe Business assisting cooperatives, small businesses through the cooperatives? Is there also a special way for you to reach out to them, or are there special products or services that you offer them, especially during the pandemic? And you mentioned you were talking about a huge number, di ba, of cooperatives. Pero sabi nga nila, once you help these cooperatives, you are able to help more people because of the collective nature of these cooperatives. How is Globe Business doing all this support to the cooperatives?
Right. So one of the things that you mentioned, the first part of your question, Cesar, was that the nature of financial services nagbago na. Everyone's doing online banking, and the cooperative sector was not immune to that. In fact, ang dami po natin mga kooperatiba who are asking about, online payment, acceptance of online loan collections, also disbursing funds disbursement or loan approvals through online na. So, ang cooperative sector in itself, hindi sila immune dun sa some of the online banking trends na nakikita natin with commercial banks, no? Kasi lahat nga tayo nasanay na through online payment and online banking. And even after the pandemic, no, yung kasanayan natin na yun, hindi na siya magbabago.
Yeah, going back to Miss Faye, there's a lot of I think we were talking about the impact of the pandemic earlier to our organizations. Ang tanong ko siguro, Miss Faye, paano naapektuhan yung mga members ng inyong kooperatiba dahil sa pandemic na naganap at kasalukuyang nagaganap pa rin po?
Okay, Cesar, no. Well, the impact of the pandemic in our cooperative, as with any other organizations, we were greatly affected by the pandemic, and we struggled to maintain the regular communications with our members and keep our daily operations going. So the lockdown restrictions hampered our interaction with our members and even the collection of payments. Hence, we were losing the funds which would affect all the members of the cooperative. And then we were not digitally equipped. No, we could not facilitate our inter-branch transaction much to dismay to our members. Kasi marami yung mga restriction ng boundaries namin. Mahirap kaming pumunta kasi medyo stricto dito in Davao Region in terms of the implementation of the IATF guidelines.
Yeah, Miss Faye, before I go to Sir Bradley, para mas maintindihan ng ating mga manonood, ano ba talaga sa inyo ang kooperatiba? Ano ba ang ginagawa or ano ba ang mga proyekto at benepisyo kapag pag small business ka, kasama ka, or individual ka, kasama ka sa kooperatiba na to? And what is interesting also is when we were discussing offline kanina, kala ko dahil Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative, magagaling kayo lahat mag-chess. So, can you explain or expound more on what a cooperative does and how it benefits the members po?
Okay. Well, Cesar, now, first dito muna tayo in our history of our Pantukan Chess Club. No, well, Pantukan Chess Club started as a sports club in 1989 in Davao de Oro. And it was founded by Dr. Agapito Hernido, together with his chess players, friends who were doctors, bankers, fishermen, and preachers. So when they started here in the southern Mindanao, they noticed that borrowing the money from Mumbai was rampant among the local community. They then decided they wanted to help their fellow Filipinos. That's why their chess club pledged a 1 peso day until they accumulated the 2,500 pesos as funds. Then the first capital was used to help the tricycle drivers, banana queue sellers, and the like. So in the cooperative, it is to be able to help more people and avoid being perceived as a scam. So they needed to institutionalize and register the organization. And it was in the October 1992 that the club was registered as cooperative. So in 1997, yung Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative attained the Focus Certified international prudential standards in their operation. So these standards help the primary cooperative ensure that the money or the members' money in safe and will grow that offer the competitive and quality financial services to its members and ensure the sustainability of the cooperative operation. So pag dito ka talaga sa kooperatiba, mas marami yung benepisyo, no? Una is that we are a cooperative, is a member-driven organization. And then yung benepisyo unang-una is meron kang dividend and the patronage refund. So meron tayong, we are tax-free also. Tax-free po tayo. And then, say for example, kumbaga yung nangungutang ka, yung interest talaga na binabayaran mo pa is nag-i-interest yun. Meaning that is a patronage refund. Patronage refund. So maraming mga benefits na makukuha mo dito sa cooperative. And pinaka-importante is the members of the cooperative are also the owners. Yun.
Wow, that's interesting, Faye, on how you describe, the benefits that a member gets from a cooperative. Bradley, is this also a globe business strategy wherein you really focus on groups or cooperatives, to really, maximize, economies of scale where you are able to help more people, and these are already organized cooperatives and institutions. Is this, part of the thrust of globe business and, to promote cooperatives here in the Philippines?
Yes, Cesar, definitely. Globe Business's vision is to become the preferred solutions provider of MSMEs, and what better way to do that but to help cooperatives as well, because cooperatives are the economic pillars of our economy, especially in the countryside. They have a lot of businesses, but they also have a lot of members who rely on them for financial support to open their own MSME operation, their own businesses. So it's a circular economy. We're enabling the enablers. We're empowering the people who empower small businesses as well, especially in the countryside and in the regions where there is a lot of unbanked Filipino population.
Mm-hmm. Now, Faye, I'm very interested with the members of the cooperatives. Siyempre, sila lumalapit sa kooperatiba para lumago yung mga businesses nila. So, dito ba sa kooperatibang ito, in your case, ano-anong mga negosyo ang kanilang itinatayo? And like say, for example, if they go, they seek financial assistance, what are the requirements? And ano yung mga types of businesses that they can do? Lalo na sa pandemic, di ba? Sa pandemic, medyo ang daming nagsara. I'm sure a lot of your members also experienced that because of the many lockdowns and restrictions. So paano ano ang mga negosyo, ano ang mga tulong na ginagawa ng inyong organization para matulungan ang mga miyembro ng kooperatiba?
Okay, yes, sir, no. In our cooperative po, marami yung during the lockdown, no, really affected yung mga members natin, particular in the business loan talaga, or in the business in business industries. What we did in our cooperative is that unang-una is we extend, no, to reach out our members, ano yung pwede nating maitulong talaga sa kanila, and also we conduct of survey, no, we conduct the survey to our members, ano yung pwede nating maitulong sa kanila, and we're in fact meron kaming pinalabas like the calamity loans para sa kanila. We also the rehabilitation sa mga loan nila para at least naman lang matulungan natin yung mga miyembro in our cooperative. And we also, yung pinalabas, yung Bayanihan Act 1 and 2 talaga, 2 beses yon last year. So meron tayong moratorium na ibinigay doon sa ating mga members. So with that, no, kahit pa na hindi namin natuloy yung mga, like for example last year when the pandemic hit on us, hindi kami nakapag-conduct talaga ng General Assembly kasi sa dami ng restrictions na sinet forth ng ating IATF guidelines. But with that, no, pinalabas natin or ibinigay, no, kahit pa hindi pa na-approve ng General Assembly yung whatever the patronage refund and dividend rate, yun, binigay natin in advance to our members to help them kung paano or ano yung at least magamit nila to ng kanilang mga negosyo. So for now, really despite meron kasi may impact pa din yung yung pandemic natin dito. So as sa amin talaga is we do not leave our members behind na ano yung pwede naming ma-extend sa kanila. So from time to time meron kaming survey through our platform, no, meron kaming like the TV program na like Coop TV na pinapalabas namin to extend or to explain the activities and whatever nga pwede nilang mapuna natin dito sa ating kooperatiba po.
Wow, that's very exciting because you're using a lot of techniques, a lot of communication tools to reach out to your members. At yun nga ang kasunod kong tanong ngayon. Kaya andito ang ating Globe Business. Napakarami ng mga hindi naging handa ng mga negosyante, lalo na yung mga maliliit, sa pag-embrace or pagyakap natin sa mga digital solutions. So yung iba nga, noong pandemic lang, nung nakaraang taon lang natuto na connect sa internet, or before they didn't really care about the digital solutions because of the system to them is not ready yet, and some do not necessarily need those digital solutions before. But this time, it is actually a necessity, di ba? If you do not have a digital solution, or if you do not employ or embrace digitalization and digital transformation, you will be left out of business, or you will close your business. So my question to Bradley is, how are you doing this digital transformation strategies? How do you empower, as you mentioned earlier, you are enabling the enablers? Technology is just there, but in your case, Globe Business gives the key to the digital solutions. And as with our previous engagements with the other SMEs, talagang kayo napakadaling gamitin yung mga digital solutions ninyo. For other establishments, talagang especially the big ones, they have to do it from scratch, and they have to employ and invest in a lot of technologies. But in your case, especially for MSMEs, we hear a lot of instances where it's plug and play. All you have to do is take that. So my question, Bradley, is what are your strategies? What are the Globe Business digital solutions that you are offering to cooperatives?
First and foremost, Cesar, you're very correct in saying that before the pandemic, digitalization took a backseat. Hindi siya masyado naging priority for any business. Cooperatives no less. Cooperatives, they rely on face-to-face, very relational ang nature of cooperatives. Tulad nga ng sinabi ni Ms. Faye kanina, they were very proactive in reaching out to the members. They don't want to leave any members behind. Ang ganda ng mga relations within the cooperative ng mga members. So nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, walang general assembly, but this was all SOP, standard operating procedure yan sa kooperatiba, to have general membership meetings, to always communicate with them. So nung nagkaroon ng pandemic last year, one of the things that Globe Business prioritized, no, and even is prioritizing in 2021 and until 2022, no, is to educate and to train all of the cooperative members, officers, as well as the board of directors. So kami at Globe Business, first and foremost, we are offering partnerships with a lot of trade organizations or mga federations ng kooperatiba or mga unions ng kooperatiba to create learning sessions for their members. So ang example niyan is at the start of the year, we had actually a Zoom training for the Union of Metro Manila Cooperatives. And in Davao, we're also partnering with a lot of trade organizations to bring these learning sessions, no, for the cooperative. So the first and foremost, to answer your question, Cesar, is to educate them on what are the tools are available and how to use them or how to make the most of them. And we're right now for Globe Business, we are focusing our attention on portfolios that are subscription based. Now, unlike mga larger businesses, mga enterprise, no, they have the budget, they have the time to create software ground up. Pero we realize for MSMEs, there is a lack of funds and a lack of time and expertise to adapt digital technology. So we rely on our vendor partners, no? Our vendor partners like Google. We have our vendor partner that's actually a subsidiary of Globe called Globe Labs, no? They're creating software that is subscription-based, readily available, very easy to use. Isa dyan would be a text blasting solution. Again, we go back to the nature of cooperatives na very relational, very grounded on communication with members. And Pantukan Chess Club has 18,000 regular members and a lot of associate members up to 50,000 members. So how do you communicate with that amount of people, with that number of people? So yung text blasting solution is actually a very used platform in the cooperative sector so that they can communicate, always be present in the lives of their members. And of course, we also have Google Workspace, no, here in Globe Business. So that with Google Workspace, Pantukan Chess Club, for example, they have multiple branches all over Davao de Oro. So because ang hirap na nga mag-travel because of the restrictions, face-to-face meetings aren't really practical anymore. We have Google Meet under the Google Workspace portfolio. We have Google Drive so that they can share mga documents and work on sheets, documents, They have surveys, so we have Google Form under the Google Workspace family, no, so that they can give their surveys to the members. Ang dami mga digital solutions, but we realize the fact that all of these won't be possible without the proper foundation of internet connectivity. So see Globe Business right now, we are ramping up our facility infrastructure, no, in all of the parts of the Philippines, no, where Globe is heavily investing on the infrastructure so that we can bring internet connectivity all over the country, especially where it is needed the most.
Wow, that's very interesting, Bradley. Lalo na ngayon, 'di ba, ang digitalization at ang pag-unlad ng ating ekonomiya nanggagaling din sa regions. So, I think that is really interesting, Miss Faye. Kayo ay nasa Davao. At alam natin na ang pag-unlad ng Davao, hindi lang Davao, kundi buong Mindanao, ay talagang nagkikreate ng napakalaking impact sa progress ng bansa. So, ang tanong ko, Miss Faye, paano nyo nagagawa na maikascade naman yung mga digital tools halimbawa ng Globe sa inyong mga miyembro? Are these, do you conduct special sessions? How do you reach out to them using these digital tools? At paminsan-minsan ba ay nagkikita pa rin kayo? Because we know that sometimes there really has to be a sense of community and cooperation, and as they call it now, collaboration, or talagang totally everything is on digital. And we don't necessarily, of course, while we miss, those gatherings, but as you mentioned, Miss Faye, di ba, lalo na sa Davao, syempre, kailangan istrikto din tayo dyan dahil ang Pangulo natin, taga Davao. So, pati ang IATF natin, di ba? So, kailangan maging role model ang mga probinsya where our administration is really focusing on. So my question, Ms. Faye, is how do you cascade all these digital solutions to your members, and paano ito nakakapagpabilis ng inyong operations at pagtulong sa mga miyembro ng kooperatiba?
Okay. Thanks, sir. Yung digital adoption or the transformation namin sa aming kooperatiba, when the pandemic has hit us, it opened our eyes to the immediate need of adapting the digital solution in our operation. It was integral to our business continuity and resiliency, and we were able to overcome the challenges despite many hurdles and limitations. So it helped us to pivot quickly and saving us from the threat of whatever the more challenging or bankruptcy nga yung talaga. And now the Globe business empower us to overcome the business challenges through the digital adoption. Una is that yung reliable internet connectivity natin, actually is yun yung mga ginagamit namin to contact or to reach out our members as well as aming mga staff. Kasi po now as the moment is we have 11 lending branches across in the Davao del Norte, Davao de Oro, and Davao Oriental. And due to the in Davao region, kaya nga sinabi kanina na meron kaming mga restrictions in the border lines. Then the second one is yung text blasting solution namin. It is a way of our cooperative to reach out our 18 regular members and over 40,000 associate members for now. Whatever yung mga activities, yung mga information, the information as well as yung mga reminders to our members, na kahit despite of the pandemic, still they have the obligation still to para naman maging pagpatuloy yung ating operation in our cooperative. And the third one is yung Google Workspace, yung meeting namin and the assemblies dito. Kagaya sinabi kanina is that we teach our members as well as our board of directors and staff paano yung gamitin talaga kasi hindi tayo or hindi kami prepared talaga. And actually kahit despite we are over 10 years or a decade na we connect with our partner with the Globe, more really focused lang kami in the internet connection really. But now when the pandemic is nandito na nga, kaya nga marami kaming mga solution and came from the Globe business, and then the interaction now with our operation medyo okay na than before, kasi nga meron tayong mga limitation na to the face-to-face. More on kasi dito sa mga members namin is more reliant in the face-to-face transaction. But now we are conducting our trainings, we're conducting our meetings as well as the assemblies through the Google Workspace or Google Meet na po.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Miss Faye. Maganda yung balikan ko yung sinabi ni Bradley na pag sinabi mo na kooperatiba, parang sanay kayo doon sa relationship building, di ba? Baka dahil, as you mentioned, face-to-face yun. Pero because of the pandemic, nagiging digital lahat. My question to Bradley is, what's your strategy in trying to still maintain that kind of relations in the digital world? Di ba? Kumbaga parang ngayon, paano ko ba i-explain sa ating mga manonood? Di ba? Parang kumbaga may avatars instead of the photos, but people still appreciate the avatars, di ba? And sometimes when your reactions, emojis, di ba, are already accepted, di ba? Parang once you say yes or no using emojis, that is already acceptable. And that is already a sense of expression and communication. So, yun ang tanong ko, Bradley. How do you find that marriage between digital transformation while still maintaining the face-to-face level of relationship that is required or has been the practice amongst cooperatives?
Yes, exactly. Actually, I attended a conference just a few months ago, no, when they talk about digitalization in the cooperatives or even in the financial sector in general, no, especially in the microfinance, microinsurance sector. Digitalization is a tool to communicate with members, but it is by no means a replacement for building good relations with your members. So it's just a tool. But how you build your relationship will be all about how you communicate or what you communicate to your members and when you communicate. So in line with that, no, there has to be a shift in mindset. Digital technology doesn't mean that you have it. You can communicate anytime, anywhere. There's etiquette. There is the right type of communication, and there are the right tools for communication that you use. Let's take, for example, yung text blasting solution ng Globe. You don't need actually a tool to communicate with your members. You can text them regularly. Pero with this platform kasi, your text messages are branded. So, lalabas sa cellphone mo is parang in the case of Sina Miss Faye, nakasulat talaga doon is PCC, MPC, or Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative. So it's a branded type of communication. Now, for the emails with Google Workspace with a professional account, your emails are also branded. Their email address is at pantukan.coop. So it's very customized to them. Now, in building good relations, we have a lot of trainings as well that we roll out, capacity building, what to communicate, when to communicate. We have direct marketing courses here in Globe Business that's really available for cooperatives. And yun na nga, as I mentioned before, the tools when used properly can augment. So it cannot replace, but it can enhance how cooperatives build good relations with their members. So that's what we always remind them then when we are with them in trainings or webinars. These tools are just meant to be used, but how you use them is really up to the cooperative or up to any business entity themselves.
Wow, that's very insightful, Bradley, and that's really interesting. My question to Faye is this: yung pandemic at dahil sa digitalization, marami din mga pagbabago na naidulot nito sa consumer behavior, hindi ba? At saka sa behavior mismo ng mga tao at sa pagninegosyo. So, halimbawa, one example, I never realized this in one of my interviews where the used cars or the luxury cars, kung kailan nagka-pandemya, tsaka tumaas yung business ng used cars or used pre-owned cars. So in your case for the cooperatives, ano yung mga napansin mo, Miss Faye, na pagbabago sa mga miyembro ng kooperatiba? Tingin mo ba mas naging rin sila, mas leaning towards digitalization already? Mas high-tech na ba sila ngayon? Or are they more demanding now in terms of technology? Are they more reliant to technology now? Are they more digitally engaged now than before? Sila ba ay mas madalas nang mag-text sa inyo or mag-email sa inyo? Ano mga napansin mo na pagbabago na tingin mo ikakalakas ng cooperatives pa in terms of as an impact of the digital transformation? At para tuloy-tuloy na rin yung sagot mo, Miss Faye, sa palagay mo ba itong mga digital tools na ito mas lalo pang magpapalaki kung ngayon ay nasa 50,000 strong cooperative kayo? Do you think that, because they can now do it digitally, can you predict that this 50,000 strong cooperative will be bigger because you serve the financial lifeline to more communities in Davao de Oro and Davao Oriental?
Okay. No, that is true, no? Actually, we were not digitally equipped before the pandemic. At the least, we have internet connection, but it was not fully maximized. When the pandemic has opened our eyes to the many possibilities that we can do with the power of the digital, for one, is that we realize the efficiency of digitizing the processes that we can do with to reduce the hours spent in our manual work, such as the text blasting, consolidating the reports, computing the numbers. And in regards to our productivity has also increased because we can already streamline the processes and expedite the approvals and even overcome the physical barriers by using our collaboration tools and holding the virtual meetings. So with that, we can continue to prioritize the convenience, the health, and the safety of our members and the staff that we engage with them and the process their transaction online. Well, even though that some of our members have yet to fully embrace the digital processes and the activities, that we believe that this is the big step already in acclimatizing them to the world of the digital economy. So we're in fact by using the digital tools in our cooperative, we really reach out our members talaga through the solutions na that help that in our cooperative spectrum, we need to cope up with the changes in this new normal. So we need to embrace the paradigm shift like digitalization. There is a call for us to raise the bar in order to provide the efficient and accessible services to our members.
Pero Miss Faye, ang bilis din ng learning curve ng members nyo pala. Kasi sabi mo nga, hindi kayo masyadong digitally equipped prior to the pandemic. Ang bilis ng learning curve nyo. So, what are the best practices there? Paano nyo napadali yung going into the digital transformation? Kasi correct me, but I think that the pandemic started only sometime March of last year. So paano nyo napadali yung learning curve ng mga members ninyo pagdating sa digitalization?
Maybe because of our the passion to parang yung sa mga members namin na to adapt really, kasi within our organization, let's say with my colleagues in our cooperative, really more than 60% of us is who lead this cooperative is more on millennial. More on millennial, and really we teach our members in times even kahit pumunta sila sa aming opisina, time to time we teach them how to use the gadgets, how to use some of the digital tools na mas mapadali yung mga online transaction nila with us. So yun po. So and then some are is yung Android phones are available. All we need is to trigger it by way partnering Globe Business or right partner.
Well, I think the best person who will talk about digitalization and the role of the millennials in small businesses is, of course, Bradley here of Globe Business. So, can you expound on this Globe Business solutions, Bradley? That maybe if you can expound on how the different age groups can adapt to this digital transformation, not only in the context of what the cooperative requirements are, but also the general MSMEs.
Right. So when we talk about age groups, we recognize also yung kumbaga yung nangyayari nga sa cooperatives and actually the whole MSME industry, no? Especially siguro sa financial services. A lot of the leaders kasi in financial services are of the older age bracket talaga. So we recognize that fact. And meron ngang konting resistance to change kasi ang hirap na to learn new digital solutions. Well, at least, Cesar, that is the perception. So we are trying to promote that every financial service institution, every cooperative, rural bank, microfinance institution, to have a champion for digital solutions. And normally magagaling talaga yan sa the younger generation. Sila magsisimula, Cesar. Sila maglalabi sa kanilang organization. But when actually the board of directors, for example, kapag napa-oo sila na, sige, let's try digital solutions. Kami naman sa Globe Business, we will enable lahat ng gagamit, matanda man o bata. And actually, they will find, no, eventually, after a couple of sessions of training, or even after just one session, no, actually madali lang gamitin ang digital solutions ngayon. Nagkaroon lang kasi, of course, before the pandemic, there was siguro nagkaroon ng stigma. Digital solutions, medyo complex yan. Hindi yan para sa akin. I'm really okay with the, pen and paper, Excel. But when they try it, they realize itong mga digital solutions from Globe Business, especially yung mga subscription-based services tulad ng Google Workspace, Amber, they're actually very simple to use. Imagine kung nakakapag-smartphone nga ang mga oldies. Kumbaga, ang Amber text blasting, it's really like sending an email, literally. Ganon siya kadali. There's an interface, lahat po ng mga buttons are very user-friendly, madali pong intindihin. Ay, pati na rin sa Google, of course, 'di ba? Google Workspace. Sa simula siguro nagkaroon ng apprehension having online meetings. Pero kayo na nga po nagsabi, Cesar, it took the cooperatives less than a year to adapt. Naging masanay na sila to Zoom, Google Meet, whatever platform, alam na nila. They can even use it on their mobile phones. So if there is an apprehension na baka complex ang digital solutions, all I can say sa simula lang yan because of the past siguro experience we had. Pero right now, with the pandemic, with all of the IT providers, digital solutions provider like Globe Business, no, working round the clock to make digital solutions accessible and easy to use. Kahit anong edad po, they will be able to use it and maximize it.
Wow, I think that excites our viewers who are, small businesses, the CEOs and owners of small businesses, with that very encouraging insights, Bradley. We have a few more minutes, and Miss Faye, ano ang plano ninyo ngayon? Will you have more investments on IT? Will you continue to adopt, more of the digital technology that will be more beneficial to your members? And where do you see this partnership with Pantukan Chess Club with Globe Business?
Okay. So for that, for now, no, we will continue still, no. We are really investing in our IT department right now. Really, for the digital solutions na pwede namin gamitin to reach out really to our members, and then with this mas mapadali kasi yung mga bagay-bagay na paano namin ipaparating doon with our members, and then to the future of cooperative in the coming years, it relies on the current generation or the future generation. They are determined to adopt this digital age, yet little by little they accepted it, and we will provide the blueprint, a blueprint towards digital transformation.
Wow, well said, Miss Faye. Now, Bradley, it seems that this is really a tribute to the cooperatives. This is a great celebration of the Cooperatives Month, and we thank Globe Business, for arranging this interview with featuring the Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative. And before we go, Bradley, what is it that you plan also to do as you aim to make Globe Business a brand that really uplift the lives of cooperatives members through financial inclusivity, your plans in continuously supporting cooperatives in the Philippines?
Yes. So this year's thrust for Cooperative Month is to have a kooperatibang matatag. That's the theme for this year's Cooperative Month. And matatag means being resilient no matter what comes at you, no matter the changes that you will face or the challenges that you will face. So it is Globe Business vision to equip cooperatives with digital solutions so that they can become a kooperatibang matatag, a future-proof cooperative, no matter the challenges that they may face, pandemic or not, future-proofing the cooperatives will make them ready for anything so that they can be resilient and they can continue to serve their community for years, even decades to come.
Wow. Miss Faye, sa iyong experience, ano ang maipapayo mo sa mga members ng kooperatiba at iba pang mga kooperatiba naman, paano magiging matatag sa gitna ng pandemya?
Okay, lalo na ngayon in our pandemic, yung mapapayo is that the unity of our cooperatives, between the cooperative, because meron tayong mga cooperative principles na sinusunod, and then magiging magtulungan, as we all know na last year until now, the cooperative really helped to the government, kahit man lang in a small way, na matulungan natin in the community. And we're in fact, like us in our cooperative, as well as we celebrate yung cooperative now, as well as we celebrate our 29th founding anniversary of Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative. We really have an advocacy, to the community na matulungan man lang yung komunidad natin to kahit sa simpleng bagay-bagay man lamang na ma-uplift yung mga lives nila. And then there should be a inclusivity that no one's left behind. One little secret choosing the right partner is that the right strategy in this digital age. And it's the Globe Business enable us to lead the right way.
Wow, that's the best way to end this conversation, and nagpapasalamat kami sa aming partners sa Globe Business, from Jill to Sarah to Miss Gail for arranging this interview. Miss Feraldine Revisa, General Manager of the Pantukan Chess Club Multipurpose Cooperative, and Mr. Bradley Pineda, Marketing Manager for Finance Industry of Globe Business MSME Group. Maraming salamat. Open for Business. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Ang trabaho naman talaga ng maritime group ng PNP is to enforce the maritime law.
Tayo lang yung stricto, pero in other parts of the country, pwede na naman ang tourism.
Definitely, we are ready to respond to a possible spike.
Sapagkat ang aming intensyon ay makatulong lang sa mga tao na wala talagang magamit na gamot.
92 voted for this resolution, which will make it stronger, calling on the Justice Department to come up
with more stringent ways to be able to avert these hate crimes against Asian Americans.
Mas marami po tayong magagamit ngayon na mga tools or mga equipment.
Maraming salamat, Weng, at sa buong puwersa ng Balitalakayan sa pagkakataong ito.
Tatalakayin ang mga pangunahing balita live sa teleradyo ng Net25 at Radyo Aguila DCEC 1062. Kasama si Weng de la Fuente sa...
At itong Balitalakayan, we live in interesting times.
Welcome back to Open for Business. I am Las Vegas correspondent Randy Bernardino, and here are the trending business news around the world. Microsoft shuttering LinkedIn in China as rules tighten. Microsoft said it will shut down career-oriented social network LinkedIn in China, citing a challenging operating environment as Beijing tightens its control over tech firms. According to the Wall Street Journal, LinkedIn was given a deadline by Chinese internet regulators to better oversee content on the site. LinkedIn, which launched in China in 2014, lets people use personal and professional relationships to find job opportunities. The US-based company will replace LinkedIn in China with an application dedicated to applying for jobs, but without the networking features, according to Senior Vice President of Engineering Mohawk Shroff. Microsoft will sunset the China version of LinkedIn and launch an in-jobs application dedicated to connecting professionals with companies seeking employees. Facebook eyes 10,000 EU jobs to build metaverse. Facebook announced plans to hire 10,000 people in the European Union to build the metaverse, a virtual reality version of the internet that the tech giant sees as the future. CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been leading a voice in Silicon Valley hype around the idea of the metaverse, which would blur the lines between the physical world and the digital one. The technology might, for example, allow someone to don virtual reality glasses that make it feel as they're face-to-face with a friend, when in fact they are thousands of miles apart and connected via the internet. The European Union hires spread over the next 5 years will include highly specialized engineers, but the company otherwise gave few details of its plans for the new metaverse team. Apple unveils new Macbooks and its next generation Airpods. Apple showed off its second batch of new products ahead of the all-important holiday shopping season. At a virtual event, the company revealed two high-end MacBook Pro laptops powered by its next-generation silicon chip. It also unveiled Airpods 3, its entry-level wireless earbuds that borrow a few features from its higher-end Airpods Pro line. The new machines address long-standing user complaints, revealing that Apple does listen to user feedback, especially from programmers and other professional users. Apple's event came amid ongoing concerns about global component shortages and logistics issues across the tech industry. And now for our job hunting tip. Every week, we will provide you with tips for the first-time job seekers, for those wanting to advance in their careers, and even those wanting to start fresh and change professions. Today's tip: apply with confidence. Apply for jobs you are interested in, even if you only meet some of their requirements. Depending on the position, employers might hire motivated individuals who learn quickly and provide them with skills training on the job. If you meet a portion of a job's qualifications, but believe you can still succeed in that role, apply. Include examples of your work ethic and ability to learn new skills in your resume. Emphasize how your goals align with those of the company. And that is today's job hunting tip. Now for Millennial News with correspondent Jasmine Agustin.
Young people have a good attitude on the future, and millennials in particular are extremely enthusiastic about their financial prospects. Experts believe that how much money you earn is influenced by your ideas and feelings. They define wealth as the ability to live comfortably without worrying about money rather than a specific figure. Millennials, despite their optimism, are financially disadvantaged. With that said, their financial situation paints a different picture. On today's Open for Business, pag-uusapan natin ang ilang mga skills na maaari nating ma-develop hindi lamang para makatulong sa ating mga finances kundi para umunlad. Here are 5 skills you can develop if you want to be wealthy. First is reading. Reading evolves your main asset, which is yourself. You get to grasp such information onto bettering yourself, and more than that, financial books can help you grow out of it. Personal finance books can give you a better understanding on money management and how your money can grow over time. The science behind it can testify as long as you give yourself time to read. Secondly, ceaseless learning and sustaining focus. Related with reading is being able to acquire knowledge and improve it over time. With that, you should never stop learning. And with learning comes a huge amount of focus. Sustaining your focus while learning will definitely give you a positive result. Third is selling. A recent persuade is an advantage of selling. Selling is a part of your day-to-day activities. It is persuasive on a broad scale. It is the ability to demonstrate that what you have to give is valuable enough to be exchanged for money. The principles of transactions will assist you in your endeavor. Fourth is knowing the help of outsourcing. Outsourcing lowers entry barriers while increasing competition. Its benefits include the ability to save time, reduce costs, reduce risks, increase efficiency, save money on technology and infrastructure, have a wide range of staffing flexibility, and much more. And lastly, adhering to financial management. While financial independence may appear elusive, learning to save as a young adult is one of the most crucial financial habits you can form. Above all, understanding how to successfully budget your money is the most effective approach. While not all millennials are alike, it is better to keep your skills in check, and maybe who knows, you can be a future millionaire on upskilling your capabilities in order to be wealthy. Para sa Open for Business, ako po si Jasmine Agustin.
Enjoy your favorite OPM hits as we play them on air and online. From music videos,
Yeah, we gonna go up. Ibibigay ko ang aking puso. Sa iyong tingin pa lang ako ay natunaw na.
to entertaining live and home performances on your favorite Pinoy artists.
Now every step we take, boundary we break. There's nothing we can do. Pakinggan mo ang aking sigaw sa talanong buhay.
Mag-hashtag Soundtrip and Chill kasama ang barkada ng Letters and Music. Balikan ang mga natatanging performances ng inyong favorite OPM artist sa Letters and Music Rewind. 4 p.m. mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Mga request at new performances naman ang bibida sa Letters and Music tuwing Sabado at Linggo, 1 p.m. Lahat ng yan dito lang sa Net 25.
Open for Business is back, and our term of the week is from Investopedia. Our term of the week is the cost of living. The cost of living is the amount of money needed to cover basic expenses such as housing, food, taxes, and healthcare in a certain place and time period. The cost of living is often used to compare how expensive it is to live in one city versus another. The cost of living is tied to wages. If expenses are higher in a city, salary levels must be higher so that people can afford to live in that city. The pandemic has certainly impacted cooperatives, but many remain resilient. Digital transformation has been the key for their survival in the changing times. With the use of digital tools and solutions, cooperatives can reach out to their members who depend on them for financial support and thus fulfill their purpose of uplifting their communities. And with that, our quote of the week is from the former U.S. President Bill Clinton. He said, "We all do better when we work together. Our differences do matter, but our common humanity matters more. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood ng Open for Business. Thank you to our guests, Ms. Feraldine Revisa and Mr. Bradley Pineda, and our correspondents Randy Bernardino and Jasmine Agustin. Samahan ninyo kaming muli sa Open for Business sa susunod na linggo. Learn more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, industry experts, and SMEs promoting business development in the Philippines, keeping you informed and open for business. Be ahead of the curve from vision to action. Panoorin din ang programang OFB sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-like at mag-share sa aming social media at Net25 TV. Para sa Open for Business, ako po si Cesar Vallejos. We live in interesting times.